Hey peeps, Chris Ray here again with another episode of Curations magazines, and we are now also back with Modern Mechanics. Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm like, hey, it's be fun to look at. It's been a little while, like a few months now, I believe. So this is the July issue of 1936. So let's take a gander at this bad boy. Okay. This is our favorite ad. We keep seeing it. I swear, I've seen this like at least a few times now in different magazines, and not just this one. I'm like, why though? A million miles from nowhere in the dark. It's spooky to be helpless in the dark in bandit country, says Albert Williams. Imagine the roughest mountain road you ever saw, writes Albert Williams. Recall the loneliest spot you were ever in, the things you had read of beasts and bandits in old Mexico, and you have the midnight setting. It sounds like a thing for a tabletop adventure. Okay, so this is obviously just an ad, I believe, for alcohol. At least what I can tell. I don't hate that stuff. It's just like, wow, this sounds like a setup for a tabletop. Okay, let's see what we have here for our episode of the day. The nation sits in okay, the words. The nation sits in on national conventions. New twin motor stirs aviation, lighting the way for color movies. Ooh, I'm very interested in that one. Found Kingsland's gold mines. England's wonder giants puts to sea. Hidden hazards of circus thrillers. When a soapbox racing car. I'm very interested in that one too. Brig General H. Arnold surveys the flying game, the daredevil's dub menace of auto racing, splitting the waves with the outboard racers. Outfitting for the canoe trip, building usefulness into your neglected basement. Autoshipments win fame for major bows amateurs. I hope that's what it said. Okay, so I think we're going to skip ahead a little bit, head over to, I suppose, page 36. But first, let's just skip ahead a little bit here to see what the ads are. I like staring at them sometimes. Raise giant frogs. I have never heard of a child or anyone really wanting a giant frog. Although it could be cool. It could be cool. American frog canning. I'm sorry, that was a thing. I'm looking that up. That was a thing. Wow. It was a the get rich quick scheme that unfortunately was unable to work out in the end. A shame. It sounds kind of cool. It reminds me of the whole pet rock thing, but like is actually like a living damn thing. But yeah, the whole industry got crashed and burned. Very tough. Let's zoom out just a little bit in my editors. So let's go ahead to page 30. So I can't do that. Okay, skip ahead a little bit more, and there's page 36. Perfect. Okay, grandson. This is. Oh yeah, this is the right one. It was a soapbox stuff. I could have swore they said on page 30s. Okay, they did not put me in a right place. Here we go. So the reason why I wanted to go with this one because, well, obviously we dive deep into movies, and learning about some of the history and the tech behind it could always be fun. Okay, the naturalness of color in movies largely depended upon great quantities of light. This broad arc light serves for general illumination. About 25 lights such as this are needed for each color seen. Fun fact: if you guys didn't know, the color blue for LEDs was not a thing until relatively recently, in comparison to red and green. I'm pretty sure those are two other main colors that we use for it. It's a whole thing, and the guy behind it was actually a Japanese man. But that's a video for a whole other time. It'll be a while away, but I'm very intrigued on covering that bit of history. But let's get back to this. Behind the fascinating natural color, motion pictures that are sweeping the country, there lies a story of astonishing developments, as spectacular in their field as the color movies themselves. Let's visit the huge stage 8 of United States artists. So we had the United Artists. Oh wow, I can't believe I messed that one up. Where Pioneer Productions filmed a dance sequence for Dancing Pirate and observed the new mechanical equipment and new technique being employed in order to bring a color film to the screen that has coloring as vivid as nature herself. Oh yeah, man, they would be mystified by modern day films, I tell you what. Because everyone, even in Hollywood, is interested and curious about the equipment and methods employed in making color productions. A uniformed guard at the stage door sounds curious. Even the employees and actors of a studio who are working on other films would gang up on the color setting and interfere with the work. The first thing noticed that is different from the setting of a black and white movie is the great number of lights used. Lighting equipment or rigging of great variety and is everywhere. Oh boy. Overhead is a solid bank of broads, where over okay, which are used for filler or overall illumination. High up on the parallels, 60 feet up the up the roof on the catwalks, everywhere on the top setting and on the floor is lighting paraphernalia. I cannot say that word ever. I apologize. Used for the special effects and for painting the desired scene. Two or three more lights is required in making movie in color than one in black and white. A new type of arc unit called the High Arc has been developed for Dancing Pirate, which emits 325,000 325 million. That's right, yeah, 325 million candle power in a narrow beam. In order to illustrate the amount of heat given off this arc, which draws 150 amps. If focused into a narrow beam, it's capable of almost instantaneously getting a block of wood ablaze at a distance of 20 feet. Okay, quick little bit of water. ah, 22 of these powerful lights, besides 56 units of less capacity, were set up for dance sequences. According to measurements, 16,000 amps were required for a daylight effect on this setting, or enough electricity to light in an ordinary town of 10,000 or more inhabitants. It is enough power to illuminate several metropolitan city blocks with all the street signs and office lights. 8 to 10,000 amps were, we are told, by the gaffer. How's the gaffer? The movie name for electrician were required on the same setting for a moonlight effect. With the older type of sun arc light used in earlier color pictures, the eyes of the actors were fatigued and strained, and gave what is known in the studios as Klieg eyes. The hell's Klieg eyes? Because of the presence of ultraviolet light. Okay. We are learning an interesting bit here. I actually, I wonder if I could ever make a whole video for this. Something that I will be doing. This will be for next year, obviously, is in the year of 2026 for January only. I'll be doing, which I'm calling the January week. If not, I might I might change it to the January month to it'll be like a whole month dedicated to magazines. That's my plan. Because I've already covered in a video a while back on the first ever magazine and when it came out, and that came out I believe in January, and it'll be a good time to actually do a whole month dedicated to just that. That could be fun. We'll see though. We'll see. Okay, should I keep reading this one? How much time do we have on the clock for this? Just this one part. Okay, yeah, we're 9 minutes in. I think it's okay to skip ahead now to another one. But that's a good read. I'm actually intrigued on doing more of that. I honestly would actually do a whole video just dedicated on that. But I'll think on that one. I'll think on it. The Queen Mary comes to America. Mmm. Giant diamond cut to make $2 million necklace. $2 million necklace. Okay. Ooh. So I love trains, but I also love boats. England's Wonder Giant puts to sea. Okay. This is one big bitty, that's for sure. Ah. Great ship is Robot's Paradise. Did we have robots back then? I don't think so. The hidden hazards of circus thrillers. Ooh, this could be a fun little read. Have a little sip of water first. Ilian Litzel, the world's greatest lady aerialist, had just finished her 100th muscle grind in the high dome of Copenhagen theater, and a huge crowd of spectators were applauding loudly. Suddenly, hundreds of eyes saw a slim, graceful form plunging downward. The fall was not a part of the woman's act. She had fallen to her death. Crystallization had weakened a swivel in her rigging. And once again, the deterioration of steel had claimed another circus performer. This time, one of the best and most loved artists of the Sawdust Arena. That's actually pretty sad. Ugh. Science has always been unable to cope with the steel granulation. In every season, one or more circus performer plunges to his or her death beneath the white tops. Next to the demon crystallization, the biggest problem confronting the circus performer and upon which their lives depend is perfection. A mechanical construction of their various riggings from which they perform their many dangerous feats. Every bar, swivel, guy, wire, and metal connection must be absolutely accurate in detail and perfect in construction. Hidden defects must be avoided in every piece of a mechanism. If the man on the flying trapeze is to survive from season to season. Many of the circus performers' accidents are unavoidable. Others could be avoided. Weather conditions, especially sudden changes in temperature, affects metal parts of the performers. Paraphernalia. Oh, I said it right at the time. Hey, let's go. Causing bolts, rings, and steel wires to become brittle. Sometimes, during extremely cool weather, these metal parts will snap like brittle candy. Apparatus, when mounted in several different directions from a single ring or other fastening, will at times create an uneven pressure, causing the fastening to snap. This has happened in Madison Square Garden, New York City, where several riggings must be guyed from the same fastenings or ring anchors. As the circus moves from a low altitude to a higher country, the aerialists and acrobats must be on alert to the lightness of the air, or they will overshoot their marks in high altitudes. Leaps and turns can be made with less effort in low altitudes. Many of the leading circus performers make their own performing equipment, designing it and then creating it in every mechanical detail. Mechanical perfection in many cases is lacking. In some instances, bolts and hooks are made too small and not strictly uniform. Inefficient mechanics who do not understand the proper details in constructing metal air equipment are often responsible for the accidents beneath the white tops. There are several professional manufacturers of apparatus for circus performers, creators associated to this type of business. Hey, I didn't do that. I didn't actually do that bad for that reading there. There was a few stumbles, but that was overall pretty good. I like that. I like that. I'm just, I'm trying to improve every single time I do these damn things. The last video I did was pretty bad though. Oh man, kept stumbling. But that's just how it is sometimes. But hey, let's see the time. I don't want to make this too long, to make sure that we actually have a it's not be too long. That's it. That's the plan here. Rocket launches new type of lifeboat from ship deck. Okay. Ooh. I kind of dig the idea that you would have this that would like launch you like out instead of like like lowering you down as with most things do these days. I'm kind of intrigued as to why this did not take off. I've never seen this like type of thing before. A rocket type lifeboat which can be shot over the side of the ship instead of being slowly launched from the davits has been invented by Menati Nani of Brooklyn, New York. I will be looking this name up because that sounds like an amazing invention, and I'm just so confused as to why it did not take off. Huh. This fellow has made a bunch of other inventions too. A floating safe that doesn't sound very, very useful, at least to me, or perhaps I'm just not thinking of it too much. Interesting. But over in New York, in tests conducted on models, he had shown that the lifeboat would not turn or twist in the air. In the full-size lifeboats, rubber cushions and other supports will take up the initial jolt as the boat leaves the deck, while the forward momentum, coupled with the hull design, will eliminate shock as the boat skims into the water. The boats will be held in place on deck by two steel plungers, running through the tubes in the hull parallel to the keel. In launching, the plungers are pivots over the side of the ship, and liquid gas released into the tubes. This explodes against the plungers, and the lifeboat is catapulted into the sea. Manny took his family with him in a demonstration May 10th. Okay, this seems so intriguing. I honestly just want, it might have been like a budget issue as to why this did not take off. It sounds expensive, even for back then. You know what? Let's take another gander. I'm just kind of so confused as to why this did not take off. But that's okay. Movie cartoons gain third dimension. So as a reminder, this is 1936 for this magazine, and we are already hearing about these lovely cartoons. Max Fleischer, cartoonist, inventor, and a mechanic and animated movie director, confers with Pudgy, one of his famous characters. And this over here is Popeye the Sailor Man and the other characters that are in that. So I don't know too much on this fellow, Mr. Fleischer here, but I do know is that he did run a company in a similar vein to Disney. They did not last that long. I'm pretty sure this is actually the same person, but he made a rather popular cartoon, or a movie. I can't remember what it was. I think it was maybe Robin Hood. It could have been that. I'm not too sure. I will have to eventually figure that one out. We'll see him eventually, though. Ooh, that's the Daredevil dub. Hmm. These are the old timey race cars. One day obviously I'll be doing a review on this game eventually. Far in the future is Mafia, I believe, 1. It actually features a race using these kind of cars, which it'll be very intriguing to show off. But let's go a little bit further. Light beams carry voice instrument boom to aviation. Radio listens in on phone calls. Hold on, words. Water first. An electrical eavesdropper in the invention of a Washington D.C. man, Samuel S. Hickson, permits for listening in on phone conversations without connecting to the line. The device operating on the radio principle is capable of picking up the conversations from phone wires within radius of 25 feet without tapping lines. Oh, yeah, it was this bastard. This bastard. No, what have you done? You've caused the spy game to go out the zoo. I don't know what I'm saying. These inventions are kind of crazy. Splitting the waves with, outboard racers. So if I remember correctly, this is supposed to replace the what's the word? The surfboard. This is the thing that was made to replace them, or rather the idea. Obviously, surfboards were not replaced. They are still what they are from then to now. I imagine ours are bigger and a bit more aerodynamic, but yeah. You know what? Let's see what all this is all about. A dozen outboard racing boats drive wide open towards the starting line. As a hollow boom of a gun rolls out over the river, they get away in a straight line. But as they roar down the stretch, three boats pull away and go into the turn, fighting for the advantage, their sterns awash in a shower of spray, in their bullet noses bobbing like flat stones skipping over the water. Wow, we're getting really descriptive with this one. They are rounding the buoy in a bunch when suddenly the outboat, its driver, leaning far out over the gunwale to keep it from leaping out of the water, cuts in sharply and drives miraculously through a narrow opening, and rockets out of the turn, a full length ahead of the field. The race isn't over, but by continuing to outgeneral the pack on the turns and by pushing his tiny seagoing chariot to a mile a minute, speeds this dark horse pilot is able to cling to his advantage and to race home a winner. Okay, there are a few dull moments in any outboard race, but there is little doubt that the greatest thrills come when a field of daredevil drivers race their boats into a breathtaking turn. In their efforts to gain a slight lead, it is agreed to by the men who drive these roaring river comets that most races are decided at the turning buoys. The tendency among boat designers today and is towards shorter and wider boats with little or no freeboard. In fact, most of the boats are designed with sloping decks, which used or blah 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 meet the hull. One of the most radical of these latter types is shown on the cover of this magazine. Huh. Okay. As much as I'm gonna read with this one. Mostly just because time is burning away. Let's read one more thing and then we'll hop off of this one. Hmm. Cools are heat skyliners. Old motorcycle puzzles. Parisians. Ooh, this is a really old one. Bicycle without pedals or gears, catching popular fancy words. I can do it. A bicycle without pedals, the Ingo bike harnesses the free power in the end of a flexible scooter board. A okay. A boy with a homemade scooter gave the Husen brothers the idea for their Ingo bike. The lad's weight released from the rear of his scooter board sent the scooter bouncing forward. The brothers set to work to harness this free power. The result, after 2 years of work and more than 50 models of spring platform bicycles, was the Ingo bike. It attains a speed of 20 miles an hour. Okay, that is a very interesting invention. I mean, I never heard of this one. It kind of just sounds, it sounds so they're trying to use the what's the word? The energy that you produce by like pressing down and going forward, and it goes like that. Like you are the power source. Is basically what I'm trying to get at here. The Ingo bike. What is this? Okay. It was more, at least from what I can see here, it was more of a scooter of sorts. It's a kick scooter, or rather similar to one. And there's actually a page for it on Wikipedia, so that's cool. Might have to actually cover some odd inventions one day. I mean, that's something I actually talked about in the past. You know, like covering inventions and stuff like that. Could be fun. Could be fun. But anyway, guys, I think that's enough for today. The next week we will have a bit of a mix up on what we're doing. So instead of doing 3 days of content, I'll be doing 4 days. Now this is not going to be permanent. This will be just for a test to see how I like it. You know, more content is always better content, at least in my opinion. But we'll see. So it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday instead of just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I look forward to that. See you guys next time. Please like and subscribe for more, and peace.